Kyle, I don't like the preseason polls. I think college football thinks it helps the sport. You're the coach of Utah. You're not in the top 20. How do you see it?
Well, I'm with you as far as the preseason polls. We don't pay much attention to them at all. And I'm of the mindset that you really don't have great perspective until about mid-season. I think that it takes time to sort things out and determine who those top teams are. And so until about mid-season, I don't think there's a lot of validity to it.
Kyle, you have a program that puts a lot of guys in the NFL. You win a lot of football games, and you don't make headlines for bad stuff very often. In the last couple of weeks, Alabama and Notre Dame have had players. They've had to suspend some, kick them off the team. You're a father. I'm a dad. And we've got into this discussion the last couple of weeks. What is the right discipline? If I said to you, Kyle, your left guard, marijuana, what would you say? What do you do?
Well,
what's the right discipline?
It's a case-by-case basis, Colin. I think you got to treat players the way they deserve to be treated. And if you have a guy that makes a mistake and it's the only mistake he's ever made and he's remorseful, and you treat that a lot different than a guy that's made several mistakes along the way and makes another one. And so I think you just got to treat each case individually and use your best judgment and go from there.
Brian Kelly kicked a senior off, and he kept freshmen that were also at the scene. Would you be harder on a senior because he should know better?
There's an argument for that as well. The guy that's been in your program and knows the expectations and knows the drill, so to speak. Then yeah, I can see that. But again, I have no idea what the circumstances were with those individual players prior to that, and so hard for me to make any judgment on that.
Kyle, you've gone out of the conference. You play Michigan. You don't have to play Michigan. I mean, but you have, as a Utah head coach, you clearly have some influence on the schedule. You've made it a point to go play better teams. Now, there's a big risk in that. It'd be much easier to play easier games. What is your theory on challenging yourself early? And a lot of programs don't.
Well, first of all, with your non-conference schedule, in the Pac-12, there's not a lot of those games. We play a nine-game conference schedule, so that only leaves us 3 non-conference games to deal with. But we couldn't pass that up. Michigan approached us about 4 or 5 years ago, and said, hey, we'd like to talk about a home and home, and that was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. And you're right, high risk, high reward. I mean, there's a big downside to maybe overscheduling and making your schedule a little bit too difficult, but we thought it was a great opportunity, and to have a team like Michigan come into Rice-Eccles Stadium here in Salt Lake, and our fans to be able to enjoy that game was something that was just too good to pass up, and that's why the rivalry got put on hold for those 2 years is to make room for the Michigan game.
Why do you stay at Utah? USC was interested, big names. Why? You could absolutely go to the NFL. You've probably been, if not had coordinator offers, you've had other offers at more glamorous schools. Why do you stay at Utah?
Well, I love it here. This is home. My family's here. And I think this is the best kept secret in the country, Salt Lake City. I think it's great here. In the off season, I can go skiing in the morning and golf in the afternoon. I mean, there's not a lot of places you can do that, and it's just a great area. And like I said, we when we get recruits up here, there's a lot of misconceptions about Salt Lake or the state of Utah, and when we get the recruits actually to come up here and take a visit, almost to a man, they say, hey, this is nothing, as far as what I was expecting or what I was envisioning, and they all seem to really fall in love with the place.
Okay, I picked you to win the Pac-12. I think you have the best line plan. I like your schedule. I don't know much about your quarterback. On tape, if I said to you who's the most talented team in your conference on film, who would you pick?
I'm going to have to go with SC. I think year in and year out, when you just look at the sheer talent level of the players, man for man, you're hard pressed to find a team, in the country that's superior to USC, and I think the amount of players they have in the NFL bears that out. That's always a good barometer of what type of talent you have in a program or have had in a program through the years, is how many players you've been able to place in the NFL.
Now, you've put a lot there. Kyle Whittingham, Utah Utes head coach, Pac-12 co-champ last year in the South, ranked as high as 3. I have him winning the conference. College football's around the corner. Coach, good talking to you. Keep winning football games.
Hey, thanks, Colin. Appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
You bet.